All right, how's it going, everybody? We are back at it with another live trading session. So the market has just opened up here. Let's see what we're looking at. PTI is currently the biggest gainer. Let me just notify my team that the webinar has started. But PTI is looking really good for a short right now. I might be getting on this pretty shortly here. All right, PTI is looking extremely bearish, guys. I'm looking to get in here soon. Confirmation has went off. This looks really good. I mean PTI, excuse me. All right, so I just got in a short position on PTI. My average cost is 612. So I'm currently short on PTI. So I'm now going to calculate the risk for this trade. All right, so my entry price, let's see what we got over here. So entry is going to be 612. Stop loss is going to be like 640. I'm not going to use an actual stop loss. I use mental stop losses. There's plenty of reasons why. And the price target, so first price target is going to be at 580, but I do believe that's going to crack, so we are going to go with 520. Does look pretty reasonable. We'll go with, let's see, let's crunch some numbers. All right, so yeah, we'll go with 520. All right, so that is the risk management plan. So my risk reward is a 3.2. I'm in at 612. My mental stop is at 640, and my price target is at 520 in a short position on PTI. All right, one of my price alerts just triggered. Let me check what that was. But first, let me send out the real-time alert to my team here. All right, so the alert has been sent out. All right, so let's see what else is going on. We got PTI bottoming in the 590s. All right, so PTI is starting to form some lower highs. You can see it's starting to form some lower highs here in the 620s, which does mean it should go back to the support. The support is at 595. And due to these new lower highs that are forming in the 620s, it should be able to crack that support here. So yeah, I'm going to keep holding the position. It's looking good. All right, so we got a gap to fill above on specs. There's a gap to fill above at $2.67. So I think once it fills this gap, once it hits this price level of 267, it's most likely going to have a reversal. So I'm going to set a price alert for above 260. In the notes, I'm going to put expecting a gap close reversal at 267. All right, so as you guys can see, PTI is topping out towards those 620s, towards those lower highs, like I had mentioned. Now it's heading back to the support. It should be cracking that support level any minute here. You just got to be patient. And there we have it, guys. The support has cracked on PTI. Gonna keep holding, till that price target hits. But yeah, this is looking good. Once we take out 580s, should see a nice little crash into the 560s, 550s. So yeah, if you're buying, you would want, so somebody asked, do you need strong volume to make that trade when the price hits? So when it comes to short selling, I don't really look for volume. If anything, I want the volume to fade. And when it comes to buying, that's where I'm looking for the volume to come in. So short selling, I'm looking for the volume to fade. And when buying, I'm looking for the volume to come in. All right, so SPEX, we got a double top here in the 220s. So yeah, I'm going to hold off on this one. It is looking really bearish. Most likely going to go under $2. But I'm going to hold off on this one. I will set a price alert though at $2.25. The main reason why I'm holding off on this is because there is a gap to fill above at 267. At the moment, it is looking pretty bearish, so it's probably not going to fill it, today. But I will set a price alert for above 220. I mean, I just couldn't go lower than that when it comes to, finding an entry on a short for this one. But yeah, specs topped out towards the pre-market high. The pre-market high was at 220 and it got to 225. Now it's going right back to the pre-market lows. That was a phenomenal play. I missed out on that one. I was too busy with PTI up here. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Okay, might have found something. Let's see. Wow. All right, we might have found something. INNT. Okay, yeah, this is definitely something worth watching. Let me check the volume on today though. Yeah, there's just no volume. It had to be a really small position. I will keep INNT on the radar. I like the volatility. I just don't like, how it's lacking the volume. So yeah, the volume bars are blue. I mean, that really doesn't matter because the candlestick is going to tell you what color it should be. All right, so PTI is looking extremely bearish. As you can see, we got some new lower highs forming at now 610. The previous lower high was at 620, and those lower highs caused it to crack the support. The support was at 595. The new support level is at 586. The new lower high is at 610. So this means the bears are still in control of the move because the stock is forming lower highs and it's also cracking support. So due to that reason, I'm going to keep holding the position, trying my best to maximize and hold until my price target hits, because it does end up hitting the vast majority of the time. All right, let me see if I could find anything else here. All right, so PTI did just break through the lower highs. So if it breaks past 620, that's when I would get a little bit concerned. And as you can see, it's starting to do that. All right, looks like my mental stop is about to hit. Let's see how it reacts. Yeah, it is not looking good. Let's see. All right, so I just covered on that squeeze. I am out at 650. So that was a $1,700 loss. Let me see if I can find anything else. I'm really not seeing much. All right, so I'm gonna set a price alert for PTI above 680. See if it can retest the pre-market high. Okay, so the top watch right now is going to be INNT and PTI. Yeah, it looks like it's a little too late to short sell INNT. I'll set a price alert at 22.62. That'd be an ideal price. Okay, I'm looking at PTI right now. My confirmation is starting to trigger. Gotta wait though till this 1 minute candle closes. Okay, so that is my confirmation. All right, so I'm gonna be getting in here. All right, so I just got filled at $6.66. I am re-short selling PTI. This is gonna be the second trade. Let me send out the alert. All right, so the price target is going to be $5.80, but I still do believe that this can hit 520. It can definitely happen. It's just I have to be really patient and hold it for hours for me to cover at 520. But if I want to play more of a short-term trade, I can get out towards 580s. It would probably only take like 30 minutes to an hour for it to get that low. All right, so this is not good. We got some higher support. You could see some higher support is forming at 658. So that is not good. Let's see how it reacts to the retest. If it starts to break out, then I'll look to cover. Okay, so it's breaking out. Still in the position. All right, so this is looking strong. It looks like I'll have to get out here shortly. Let's see. Okay, so we are starting to get a bearish confirmation. This is really good for my short position. I'm going to keep holding. I'm playing my risk off that 690-ish level. So for this to be a good short, we really need to crack through that higher support that formed, which was in the 650s. But yeah, if I do end up taking a second loss, I will trade this one more time, because I just noticed a pattern throughout the chart history. It does look like I am short selling this a bit too early, purely based off this pattern I'm looking at on December 12th of 2017. All right, so yeah, the price target for today, it's going to be a 580. 520, it just seems like it's too much of a stretch. Maybe in after hours, it just seems like it's too much of a stretch. So price target is going to remain 580 for the day. So 520s was from after hours of yesterday. I was mainly looking at all of this consolidation around here towards the 520, 530 level. But yeah, in order for it to go to, 520, it does have to crack 580 first. But yeah, it's just not going to happen today. So the price target is going to be at 580, not 520. 520 it's just not realistic. Yeah, so if I do, if I cut the loss here, I will be checking around that time frame, because that's what the trend is telling me. It's telling me, the high of day is going to be like, 11:40 a.m., like past 11:40 a.m. That's if history repeats itself. So I would be willing to reshort this if I got stopped out, and I would take a much bigger position to balance out the losses. All right, so I just covered it $7. So I'm just gonna wait until 11:40 a.m. So until then, I'm not even gonna look at it. I wouldn't have had these two losses if I would have just stuck to, the chart history. And there is a gap to fill above at 1069. I don't think it has enough volatility to fill it today, but if it continues to uptrend, it could fill it by tomorrow. So I'm going to set a price alert for that to fill. that'd be the best thing to do, is to wait for the gap to fill and then short it. But I will check back at around like 11:40 a.m. All right, so SPEX, I'm just gonna wait for the gap to fill above. There's a gap to fill above at 267. So until then, I'm not even gonna watch it. PTI, I'm just gonna wait until like 11:40 a.m. And then, you know, if it looks bullish, if it's breaking out, then I'm just gonna wait for the gap to fill above. Simple as that. So yeah, I mean, there's, you know, I looked throughout the biggest gainers. That's really gonna be it today. You know, so just, I mean, SPX, they're both on their way to filling the gap above. So there's going to be some really good opportunities. You just got to be patient. Might not be today, could be a couple days. But yeah, the bulls are in control on PTI and specs, so I'm going to avoid short selling them until the gaps fill above. But yeah, I do want to see PTI. I do want to see around like 11:40 a.m. If I do see a bearish confirmation, I will most likely try it one more time. And then if I'm wrong the third time, I'm just going to wait for the gap to fill above. But yeah, I mean, the best thing you can do with both of these stocks, like if you wanted to short sell these, the best way to play it is to wait for the gap to fill above, you know? So PTI, there's a gap to fill above at 1089. And SPX, there's a gap to fill above at 267. So the best way you can possibly play it is to wait for the gap to fill above and then look to short sell. So it all depends on, you know, how high you want your standards to be. I mean, the lower the account size you have, the higher the standards, you know, you should have. All right, so guys, there's nothing else. I got my price alert set for the day, so you know what I'm looking at. If you see anything, you can alert it in the main chat. But yeah, you know, ending the morning session with definitely one of my bigger red days, down $5,300 on the day. This is my portfolio. The broker I use is Centerpoint Securities. As you can see right here to the left of the screen, Centerpoint Securities. And PTI, you know, in total, the net P&L was a $5,336 loss. So I could have prevented all of that if I would have focused on the history. I didn't even go back, you know, to the time frame, because that's not the most important thing to do, but it's something you should do, is look at the time frame, not just the chart history. Like I saw, you know, the resistance was at 695, and then it bottomed at 515. So that was another reason why my price target was in the 520s, because that's what history told me. But then, you know, the second time after I entered that second trade, I said, okay, let me go back and see where the high of day was, you know, on December 12th. And the high of day was at 11:40 a.m. So you really got to use those time frames, because history tends to repeat itself in very similar ways. And this could have all been prevented by simply going back and saying, okay, the high of day was at 11:40 a.m. So I should wait, you know, I should give it some time. I shouldn't short sell it right away. But yeah, that's going to wrap up today's live trading webinar session. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot. For those of you in the chat room, if you see any stocks, if you have any questions, just alert it in the main chat. So yeah, guys, I got 520 from after hours, but mainly based off of this because it got to a high of 695 and it bottomed at 515. So that's the main reason why I chose that 520 level, because of the chart history and because of after hours. So that's the main reason. But since the price is now breaking out, you know, so it broke past 695, that means if we were to enter a short position, we would be in at a much higher price, which also means our price target has to be raised now, you know, due to higher support and also due to the higher highs that occurred. So, you know, 580 is probably a stretch. So like the new price target would be like at the current price, like if the top were going to be 720, then the price target would be like 620. So I'm going to wait until like 11:40 a.m. I'll check back on it. What I'm hoping for is, you know, around like 11 a.m. I hope it has a major pullback and then it retests. If it does that, I'd be much more comfortable short selling it. But if it just has a tiny little pullback and retest and forms a bearish confirmation, it's going to be a lot less attractive because then I would have to predict that the big move would happen. So I'm hoping for some huge pullback, and then I'm hoping it retests the high of that pullback, you know, around that time frame we were talking about. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up today's live trading webinar. You know, I told you the best way to play them is to wait for the gap to fill above. Hopefully one of them fills the gap above this week, because that will set up for a great short selling opportunity. All right, so that's gonna wrap up today's live trading webinar. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot, and I will see you tomorrow.